Hey everyone, it's Dr. Miller here from Senior Fit Nation. You know, I've spent decades in medicine watching so many wonderful people chase after expensive pills and miracle cures, all while missing something incredibly basic, something on their plate every single day, their rice. Now, what I'm about to share might stir things up a bit in the health world, but I just can't stay silent. Too many people are unknowingly eating rice in a way that's actually hurting their health. Today, I'm here to tell you the often hidden truth about rice, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to turn what might currently be a toxic food for your body into a truly life-giving staple. I sincerely hope this information lights up your health journey, and if you find it helpful, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us reach more incredible seniors just like you. My journey to this discovery began early in my career with a patient I'll never forget. Back then, like most doctors, I didn't think much about rice. I was busy prescribing medications for diabetes and high blood pressure. But Mr. Robert Jones, a 62-year-old retired teacher, changed everything. After retiring, his blood sugar and cholesterol just kept climbing, despite being on several medications. He was gaining weight and his feet had started going numb. He wasn't eating greasy foods or indulging in sweets. He just lived alone and would cook a big pot of rice, freeze it, and microwave it later. I couldn't figure out why his medicines weren't working. Every time I saw his sad, worried eyes, it weighed heavily on me. All I felt I could do was increase his dosage. That feeling of helplessness, that deep frustration, it truly pushed me to where I am today. Eventually and sadly, Mr. Jones passed away from complications. It shook me to my core. I kept asking myself, what was modern medicine missing? What was the real way to help our patients? That's when I started researching everything I could about rice and health. After years of study, a profound truth hit me. Rice can be either medicine or poison, depending on how you prepare and eat it. And certain simple ways of cooking rice had a far bigger positive impact on blood sugar and inflammation than I ever imagined. The answer was so simple, yet so overlooked. I'll never forget that moment. At first, some people were skeptical, of course, but the wonderful individuals who tried these methods started seeing incredible changes in their health. The secrets I'm going to share today might seem too easy to be true, but they are powerful clues to transform your health for life. So please watch until the end, understand the whole picture, and put these simple steps into practice. Just a quick favor before we dive in. What I'm about to share can genuinely help your health, but if you only get bits and pieces of the information or try to copy it the wrong way, it could actually backfire. So please promise me you'll pay close attention and follow these instructions very carefully. This is for your health, and if you could hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, it would really help us create more helpful content for you. Let's make every grain count. Let's start by transforming your rice using the first way. A lot of people just quickly rinse their rice and put it in the cooker. However, properly soaking your rice for at least half an hour drastically alters its nutritious makeup. It aids in the breakdown of phytic acid, which is present in the grain's outer bran layer. Phytic acid can prevent your body from absorbing vital minerals like calcium, zinc, and iron, which is why it is referred to as an anti-nutrient. These minerals are essential for bone strength, immune function, and energy levels. So just by soaking your rice before cooking it, you can improve your body's ability to absorb these nutrients, leading to better overall health. In addition, soaked rice is much easier to digest, especially for older adults or those with sensitive stomachs. I had a wonderful 72-year-old patient, Mrs. Susan Miller, who always complained of bloating and indigestion after meals. I suggested she soak her rice before cooking. A month later, she reported that her discomfort was almost completely gone. She was so grateful for such a simple change. To do this at home, rinse your rice several times, then soak it in warm water for 30 minutes to 1 hour. This allows the water to penetrate the grains evenly, making the cooked rice softer, fluffier, and gentler on your digestive system. Just be cautious not to soak it for too long, especially in warm environments, as this can encourage bacterial growth. Try to keep your soaking time under 3 hours. The second method is to add a spoonful of vinegar to your rice as it cooks. I know what you might be thinking. Won't that make the rice taste weird? Actually, no. In most cases, you won't even taste it. Vinegar contains acetic acid, which naturally slows down how quickly your body breaks down and absorbs carbohydrates. This results in fewer blood sugar spikes after meals. A study from Johns Hopkins University showed that adding vinegar to rice can lower its glycemic index by up to 31%. That's a huge benefit for anyone managing diabetes or prediabetes, or simply trying to avoid blood sugar crashes that lead to fatigue and cravings. I remember a 67-year-old patient, Mr. Jerry Thompson, who had just been diagnosed with prediabetes. He was scared and stressed. I advised him to start adding a spoonful of natural fermented vinegar, such as apple cider vinegar, to his rice while cooking. After 2 months, his fasting blood sugar stabilized and his energy returned. He was so relieved and happy. To try this at home, add a tablespoon of natural fermented vinegar to the water when cooking your rice. If you have a sensitive stomach, start with half a tablespoon. Avoid synthetic vinegar as it lacks the beneficial compounds and may irritate your gut. Now let's talk about a surprising addition: oatmeal. Most people know that oatmeal is healthy, but few realize how powerfully it can work when paired with rice. Oatmeal is high in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that behaves like a sponge inside your bloodstream. It helps remove excess cholesterol and slows the movement of food through your digestive tract, preventing rapid spikes in blood sugar. A study from the National Institutes of Health revealed that adding just a small amount of oatmeal to rice could reduce post-meal blood sugar levels by as much as 43%. That's impressive. One of my patients, 75-year-old Mrs. Dorothy Smith, had high cholesterol and early signs of diabetes. She was very worried. I recommended she mix 5% to 7% of oatmeal into her daily rice. After just 3 months, her cholesterol dropped and her blood sugar stabilized. She was thrilled. To do this at home, take 1 cup of regular rice, about 150 grams, and add around 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of plain oatmeal. This ratio preserves the texture of the rice while boosting its health benefits. Be mindful not to overdo it. Too much oatmeal can cause bloating, especially in people with digestive issues. And if you have kidney problems, consult your doctor before making changes to your diet. Another powerful upgrade involves adding turmeric to your rice. Turmeric contains a potent compound called curcumin. This natural antioxidant has anti-inflammatory effects and helps improve insulin resistance, which is a major issue for people with type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance means your cells stop responding properly to insulin, making it difficult for your body to regulate blood sugar. Curcumin helps restore this sensitivity, allowing insulin to do its job. A decade-long study by the National Institutes of Health found that regular consumption of curcumin led to a 23% reduction in insulin resistance, a result comparable to some prescription medications. I had a 69-year-old patient, Mrs. Helen Clark, who was dealing with diabetes complications. After speaking with her primary care doctor, she began adding a pinch of turmeric powder to her warm rice. Over time, her blood sugar improved so much that her doctor was able to reduce her medication. She was incredibly grateful. To try this yourself, simply sprinkle 1 or 2 pinches of pure turmeric powder onto your freshly cooked rice and mix it in well. If the flavor is too strong, start with just a small pinch and work your way up gradually. Be sure to use pure turmeric powder, not curry powder, which often contains salt and other additives. And if you have gallbladder problems or are on medication, check with your doctor first. Finally, we come to a method that's both simple and profoundly effective: cooling and reheating your rice. It may sound strange at first, but the science behind it is truly remarkable. When you cook rice and then let it cool for about 30 minutes to an hour at room temperature, the structure of the starch changes. This process creates a special kind of carbohydrate called resistant starch. Resistant starch doesn't get digested in the stomach or small intestine. Instead, it passes to the large intestine, where it becomes food for the good bacteria in your gut. This improves digestion, reduces inflammation, and boosts your immune system. A study from Oxford University found that simply cooling and reheating rice increased the resistant starch content by 18%. One of my patients, 74-year-old Mr. Donald Robinson, suffered from chronic constipation and irritable bowel syndrome. After he started cooling and reheating his rice, his digestive health improved dramatically. To do this yourself, simply leave the lid of your rice cooker open after cooking and let the rice cool at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes. Then reheat gently before eating. Alternatively, you can refrigerate the rice for 1 to 2 days and reheat it when ready. Just be cautious not to leave it out too long, especially in warm environments, as bacteria can grow. Always store cooled rice safely. So there you have it, 5 powerful ways to transform ordinary rice into a health-boosting food. These small methods might seem too simple to matter, but your body responds more deeply to small, consistent improvements than most people realize. It's never too late to begin. In fact, today can be the first step toward a healthier, more energetic life. If you're still wondering how I became so passionate about these rice secrets, it all goes back to Mr. Robert Jones, the patient I mentioned earlier. His struggle and tragic passing forced me to question everything I thought I knew. That feeling of helplessness, of not being able to truly help him with medications alone, drove me to dig deeper. His story is the reason I do this work. It became my mission to make sure no one else has to go through that kind of loss without hope or guidance. To summarize, soak your rice before cooking to lower anti-nutrients, add natural vinegar while cooking to stabilize blood sugar, add oatmeal at a ratio of 5% to 7% to improve cholesterol, sprinkle turmeric for anti-inflammatory and insulin support, and then cool and reheat your rice to improve gut health and resistant starch. Despite their tiny size, these adjustments have a big impact. Today, try just one technique and observe how your body reacts. And don't forget to cook and eat with appreciation. Your mental state has a greater impact on your health than you may realize. I hope you lead a joyful, healthy, and active life until we meet again. Senior Fit Nation, see you soon.